Hi, Véronique. Thank you for your time today. Do you want to tell everyone who you are and how you are related to BPW?
Hi, Ashley. So nice to see you again. After what, 2 years that we
I
saw
know.
each other? So great, New York, huh? That was a good time we had. Well, it's a big pleasure. Véronique Veenhuys, and I'm the founder of the Equal Salary Foundation. I'm based in Switzerland, and I'm also a BPW member, of the Lausanne Club. When we met with Ashley. I was in New York at the UN Women's Conference as Ashley, and I was one of the BPW representative. And I've been part of the club since 2006. And I have to say, I'm quite proud to be a member of that club because it has brought a lot of great collaboration, as this one tonight.
Yes, I know. And when I learned about your organization and what you do, I knew you would be perfect for this. So thank you so much for your time. So, what is Equal Salary Foundation and what is your mission?
So, Equal Salary Foundation, well, it was created because based on the fact that back in 2005, I realized that while there's been a lot of campaigning, a lot of promotion for equal pay, it was still an issue in Switzerland, but not only. This was true around the world. And I thought that the problem was really with companies and that they needed some tools, that practical tools for a complex issue. And the idea was really to actually bring them a solution to help them communicate and first of all to check and then communicate. And this is why actually I decided to create a certification, because to get out, to bring something very objective, to get out of this double sensitive issue of equality and wages, and come down with a very down to earth tool, business as usual for once with this kind of issue, and help them come firstly check whether they do have equal pay, and then allow them to communicate that it is a reality. This to attract and retain talent, and also for good governance purposes.
I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant because the certification is exactly what companies need right now in order to do the audit within their company and to hold themselves accountable.
Yes, indeed. And to do that, for me, it was also very important to have from the start to have very credible partners, because the foundation is one thing, it's a third party, but nevertheless to bring credibility to companies. It was developed with first of all the University of Geneva. And why them? It's because they had developed an expertise that was retained by the Swiss Federal Court in the case for discrimination, that really made jurisprudence here in Switzerland. And so they brought this knowledge and the credibility of academia. Um, SGS, which is the Société Générale de Surveillance, it's the world leader in certification and in inspection, was help us develop, brought the knowledge of certification to develop the norm, the standard. And the Swiss Confederation, the Swiss government, supported financially the development of the certification through the Federal Office of Gender Equality. So we had those three pillars from the beginning that brought a lot of knowledge, a lot of recognition, credibility to companies. And since then, PwC has come on board, has become our main partner, and in Switzerland and around the world.
That's so important because the Equal Pay Day, equal salary, equal pay for equal work is an international conversation. So what does it mean for women in Switzerland? And then how is it working globally?
Equal Pay Day in Switzerland was celebrated on the 20th of February this year. Don't think now, because in the USA it was celebrated in March 24, that we are so much better, because
Yeah.
actually it's not that true, because this number is actually based on the private gender gap, the private pay gap. So they don't include the public sector, they only take the private sector. In Switzerland, the Federal Office of Statistics has come up with a gender pay gap of 19%. And what I find really interesting in Switzerland, that they have been able to make a calculation and actually say that about 45% of that number, of those 19%, are unexplained. It's what we call discrimination. And the rest, about 55%, can be explained, it's structural, more men at the top, less women at the
Yeah.
more women, but more the sector feminine, more sectors that are more feminine and pay less. I mean, things like that. So I think this is an aspect that is quite interesting. And this is also what we address at the foundation. We address the unexplained part. Having those numbers where you can say, yes, but about half of let's say about half of this percentage is discrimination, and this has to be addressed. There's no discussion about it.
You told me that, it's unique that America divides it by race.
Yes.
What are you seeing maybe on a global scale, or do other countries do that, or is that just unique to the US?
Well, I looked it up. I also looked at the European Commission, the statistic, and I couldn't find it. That's the thing, there's always a before and after. And I thought those numbers for me were really quite striking. And I find it really interesting to put it that way. And this is, I think, the strength of the equal pay day concept, is that, you give a symbol, and then you can follow it up.
What do you recommend people do now versus what companies can do? So it's helpful to hear it from the individual, what the individual can do, and then what can a company do?
Yeah.
Like, how do you approach it from the very beginning? Yeah.
Well, let me show you what we have done so far. And I think, you have both the result and the impact. On one side, the business result, and also the impact we have on people, right? So far, we have certified 93 companies. We have actually issued 107 certificates. And I find that interesting, because this means that the difference is because several companies have renewed the commitment. Our requirements is that companies have a lower gender pay gap than 5%. But obviously, let's aim at 0%, right? We have noticed that the last 2 years, the movement has accelerated. We have actually 23 companies under certification, which we never had. That's the first time we have so many in the pipeline, and it's going to be, it's exponential. Now, regarding I just want to make a note, because for you it may not be, for your BPW sisters, it may not be obvious. You have two logos here: Equal Salary Certified and Globally. The difference is, we address equal pay by countries. And because you can only take into account the employees within the country. And we deliver certificate per country. And for example, we just certified UBS in over the States, UBS Hong Kong, Singapore, and the UK. We certify by countries. It has to be done, to have recognition, to be serious. We need to do it that country by country. With the globally certified certification, Philippe Maurice, to give you also the extent of the effort they did, they are present in 90 countries, and we addressed all the countries that have over 50 employees in each country. And they've been certified, and they all had to pass in all the countries that had more than 50 employees. They all had to pass the salary analysis. They all had to pass the audit, and thus they really fully deserve that global certified.
What kind of advice do you have for somebody who wants to bring this to the top?
Well, I think everybody has a role to play in that, to be an ambassador. They can speak to within a company, talk to HR. Whenever encourage them. We have actually on our website we have get involved. There is a section that actually where individual can go to and send an email, an automatic email to the HR that will encourage them to have a look. To contact us. We can send information and we can give some input how to, how it works. Also, I think it's important whenever somebody goes recruiting, ask the company what they do for equal pay, and I think it's a way to actually, for companies to start thinking that this is really a subject to address, whether it's with equal salary or whatever, but at least raise the awareness regarding equal pay. Because if they don't have equal pay, they better know it before there is a court case or before they are obliged to do it by law, right? At least they know where they stand and they can really do something about it. And that's the importance to address this issue rather than just play ostrich, and bury their hand in the sand.
That's a good point. I love that. I mean, so if they approach you and they find out that they've actually been doing a very bad job of equal pay, is there something that protects them or what happens?
Well, actually, it's a good question because obviously we protect companies. We don't, as long as, when they do the salary analysis, we keep everything confidential. And it's only once they have fulfilled all the requirements and succeeded that we'll communicate about it. So it means that throughout the procedure, whatever results come out, it will be actually, it will be kept confidential. It will give them time to adjust. And then also what we ask from company is that they have an objective, they have, first of all, a commitment to equal pay from the top management, but also that they have HR management and HR processes that are clearly defined, because this is a way to address the glass ceiling. This is a way to diffuse biases. This is a way to address stereotypes, which are actually really what hurts mostly the progression of women, the promotion of women, and all those important elements.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. I think a lot of people listening will say, okay, do I want to do an internal audit of my own company, or do I want to go on your website and send a very friendly note?
Keep doing the great work. Keep, also spreading the word for equal pay, and take in spreading the word. Well, you've got a solution. Equal salary is one of the solutions. It's the certification.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time today. I wish you the best of luck with your 23 in process, and I hope for many, many more.
Thank you so much, Ashley. To everyone, I wish you a lovely evening, Equal Pay Day celebration, and hope to see you soon again.